My reflection to the Chapter 2, Lesson 1, the National Competency-Based Teacher Standard in CBTS and Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers PPST. So I learned from this topic is that in CBTS is an effective teaching as being able to help all types of students learn the different learning goals in the curriculum. So it is a big help to all students because they can learn in the different learning goals in the curriculum. My reflection for the Chapter 2, Lesson 2, the 21st Century Teacher. 21st century educator thinks about their students' future and they are aware of the career opportunities that may arise from them. They are always planning to ensure that no child gets left behind. So they focus on preparing for today's children for what's to come in the future. So lucky of these students today because even teachers are concerned to this future. It is really true that teachers are our parents outside of our home. So my reflection for the Chapter 2, Lesson 3, School and Community Relations. So I learned from the topic is the importance of relationship to us. Like of the school and community relationship, they are both important in our society because it is a part of our life. Schools, community are also our home. We build the same goals that we want to achieve in that school and community are just a part of our way for our goals. My reflection for the Chapter 2, Lesson 4, Linkages and Networking with Organizations. So linkages between these two institutions are a proven and effective way for schools to expand what they can offer to children and provide more meaningful learning experience, making a real difference in the lives of children, families, and communities. So the same goal are the reason why linkages and networking are strong and useful in education. So it is a foundation of learning of every children that want to expand their knowledge outside and inside of the world. And we know that linkage help to hold the parental characteristics together. So it lessens the chances of recombination of genes. It is really important to us, students, teachers, and parents. My reflection for Chapter 3, Lesson 1, Global Education in the Global Teacher. So I learned from this topic is being global teacher is not easy because they are work in multicultural context and they are able to teach their students about various themes. For instance, sustainable development and interdependence, cultural identity, and diversity, equality and social justice and migration. So if you want to be a global teacher, you need more experience and knowledge. It is one of the hardest thing to do, to be a global teacher. Your students are different in terms of identity, beliefs, etc. You are a teacher globally and you are one of the roots for children's dream. So my reflection for the Chapter 2, Lesson 2, a closer look at the education systems of selected countries of the world. So I learned from this topic is the different education system of the other country. They have difference and they have similarities in the education system. So I still remember from the discussion the education system at the Africa that one of the poorest country in the world and their education system is not pretty much good. But there have other countries that their education system is very high like of China, Australia, etc. So I realized from this topic that our country is lucky than others because our education system is still ongoing to develop and the new standards are effective. My reflections for the Chapter 3, Lesson 3, Multicultural Diversity, a challenge to global teachers. So I realized that you will need more efficient ability and skills to be a better global teacher. Your experience is very important to add more knowledge and your mind. It is not easy to achieve. Maybe some people are failed or give up but don't matter the hindrance. Face it and always think how to resolve it because if you want to be a global teacher you should prepare yourself right now. My reflection for the Chapter 3, Lesson 4, Broadening Teaching Perspectives, Teacher Exchange Programs. So I realized from this topic that if you want to be a global teacher you need to broaden your teaching perspective to expand your experience, your thoughts, knowledge that need of global teacher, and it is really important because the teacher exchange program enables international educators to utilize their knowledge to help build the critical and analytical skills of our youth, and to personally showcase the value of cultural exchange. My reflection, Chapter 3, Lesson 5, Bringing the World into the Classroom through Educational Technology. So I realized that technologies have a great impact on the classroom, and it is one of the helpful things for education, because in the present times technologies are naturally used for education. Most of the people are aware to the advantage of the technology. Then that's why almost schools are allowed the technology as their main source of idea when it comes in the faster way. My reflection for the Chapter 4, Lesson 1, Basic Laws on the Professionalization of Teaching, 1.1 Presidential Degree number 1006. So I realized that to be a teacher is not easy, because if you want to be, you will study hard and pass the all grade level. We have a standard for that, and you need to follow it. If you want to be a teacher, you should pass the board exam and registered as a professional teacher. You will have a punishment if you're going to teach without a license. My reflection for the 1.2 Republic Act number 7836. It is connected to the first one. So I learned that all teachers should need to pass the LET examination. It will be the act to give more strength in the regulation and supervision of the practice of teaching in the Philippines. So I realized that if you want to be a licensure or professional teacher, you need to pass the LET examination first, because it is the measurement of being ready to be a teacher. It is the measurement of your thoughts, your knowledge to be a good teacher in the future. So it is my reflection for the 1.3 Republic Act number 9293. So I learned that those who have failed the licensure examination for professional teachers with a rating of not lower than 5 percentage points from the passing general average rating shall be eligible as a para teachers upon insurance by the board of a two-year special permit renewable for a non-extendable period of 2 years. So for who failed the LET examination, don't give up, because this act will still give you a chance. Keep dreaming and keep moving. My reflection for the Chapter 5, Lesson 1, Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. So I learned from this topic is that teachers are professional job. It should be always presentable and good model outside and inside of the school. This code of ethics reminds that teachers must have no vices like smoking, drunkenness, and other excesses, much less illicit relations. So we should always remember that being a teacher is not easy to do that. That in the eyes of others, the teacher should not make mistakes. They are perfect for them. But they forget that teachers are human that can make mistakes. So being professional is not really easy to be. You can earn the respect of others, but you didn't earn their loyalty. My reflection for the Chapter 6, Lesson 1, the 1987 Constitution. So this Constitution, the legal way for all people to choose their one to elect in the state. We have a right to make a decision who will want to elect through elections. Democracy are getting strong for all human. They are more on human rights that give protection to us. So I realized that this constitution will useful in the present times, because it is the reason why we have three separate and independent branches of government: the executive, bicameral legislature, and the judiciary. These three states make up our government that promotes order, protection, and assistance for the people. My reflection for the Chapter 6, Lesson 2, Republic Act number 4670, the Magna Carta for public school teachers. So this act gives freedom to the public teachers that teachers shall not be required to render more than 6 hours of actual classroom teaching a day. So otherwise, they shall receive payment for additional compensation. So I realized that this act is for the rest of our teachers in public schools and for students to rest their mind from the lectures of their teachers. So according to this act, teachers work for 6 hours in school, but mostly other teachers are work as long as they can because they will have to complete the thoughts of their students to not be left behind. So our public teachers should be enjoy their freedom after 6 hours of working in school. Reflection for the Chapter 6, Lesson 3, Batas Pambansa bilang 232, an act providing for the establishment and maintenance of an integrated system of education. So I learned that this Batas Pambansa bilang 232 is for individual to have an equal right in education, to be fair and equal, no discrimination, and all people educate without any discrimination from what and who they are. So the state shall promote the right of every individual to relevant quality education, regardless of sex, age, creed, socioeconomic status, physical and mental conditions, racial or ethnic origin, political or other affiliation. So establishes the basic policy and objectives for education. It is established the rights, duties, and obligations of those in the education community. Example, parents, students, teachers, principals, non-academic staff, and etc.